everybody, it's Jamie from Old Shipping Lines and welcome back to a new video. Now in the video of today we shall talk about the story of a Dutch legend, the MS Oranje. Let's begin. Now the vessel would be owned by the Dutch company called the Stoomvaartmaatschappij Nederland. And the vessel would be built by the shipbuilders Nederlandse Scheepsbouw Maatschappij. Now the gross tonnage of this vessel would be 24,377 gross registered tons, with her length being 672.4 feet. Now the ship had a beam of 83.6 feet, and the vessel could reach a speed of 22 knots. Now the ship could house 283 first class passengers, 283 second class passengers, 92 third class passengers and 82 fourth class passengers. The ship would have had a crew of 383. The vessel would be launched on the 8th of September 1938 by none other than the Queen of the Netherlands, Queen Wilhelmina. Now after her launch, she conducted her sea trials in June 1939, reaching a top speed of 26 knots. This made her the fastest diesel-powered passenger ship of her time. The ship was completed on the 15th of July 1939 and handed over to the Netherlands Line. Shortly after, she was assigned to the line's regular route from Amsterdam to Batavia. However, upon arrival, World War II had already started, and for the ship's safety, she was docked in Surabaya. In February 1941, the captain of the ship received orders to sail to Sydney and transfer the ship to the Royal Australian Navy. The Dutch and Australian governments agreed to convert the Oranje into a hospital ship. Despite being under Australian control, the ship retained its Dutch crew and continued to sail under the Dutch flag throughout the war. From October 1946 until 1957, the ship was returned to her original owners for passenger service. However, due to the Indonesian War of Independence and its nationalist course, the number of passengers decreased. In February 1951, the Oranje embarked on her first around-the-world cruise, starting from Amsterdam and passing through the Panama Canal to reach Australia and New Zealand. She then returned via Singapore and the Suez Canal to Amsterdam. Between June the 8th and 18th, 1951, the ship sailed to Lisbon and Madeira with a total of 650 passengers on board. However, in the future, she would experience a collision. On the 6th of January 1953, the MS Oranje collided with another Dutch passenger ship, the MS Wilhelm Ruys. The ships collided in the Red Sea. Now, during this time, it was common for passenger ships to pass each other closely for the entertainment of their passengers. The approach of the Oranje was later heavily criticized for being abrupt and fast, while the Wilhelm Ruys made an unexpected swing to the left, resulting in the collision. The bow of the Oranje was severely damaged as a result. Due to safety concerns, the ship was unable to make her scheduled stop in Colombo and went directly to Jakarta instead. The Wilhelm Ruys suffered less damage, and fortunately there were no casualties. It was later determined that miscommunication on both ships contributed to the collision. The final voyage of the MS Oranje for the Netherlands line took place in 1964. Now, on the 4th of September 1964, the MS Oranje and the MS Wilhelm Ruys were both sold to the Flotta Lauro Lines, an Italian company. The Oranje was then taken to the Cantieri Navali del Tirreno shipyards in Genoa for a thorough refurbishment. The ship would be renamed to the Angelina Lauro. On the 6th of March 1966, the Angelina Lauro set sail from Bremerhaven on her first journey to Fremantle, Melbourne and Sydney. In 1977, Costa Lines chartered the ship. In 1979, while docked at St. Thomas, the ship caught fire, resulting in a prolonged burning in the hull. The incident caused significant damage, and the ship was ultimately deemed a complete loss. On July the 30th, 1979, plans were made to tow the burnt hull to a scrapyard in Kaohsiung. However, on September the 21st, 1979, the weakened hull, affected by the fire, started taking on water. 3 days later, on September the 24th, 1979, the Angelina Lauro sank in the mid-Pacific. And that is the end to a video. Thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate the support. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would help out the channel a lot. And don't forget to click on the video suggested here in the outro, as I'm sure you will enjoy that one as well. Now, if you have any comments or thoughts on this video, please leave them in the comment section down below. As well, what ships you would like me to cover next. Now, with that out of the way, guys, I wish you all a good night or day wherever you are, and we will see each other on the next video. Goodbye, my friends.